If you know me in real life, you've probably noticed I've gained weight. That's because I recently came out of a deep and long depression where one of the only joys I could find was in stuffing my face with delicious food. When I caught myself up at 3 a.m. researching train schedules, I knew I needed to ask for help. With help from my doctor, who at this point didn't fully believe I was bipolar, and if I was, it was, as he called it, baby bipolar, I started on antidepressants. The fog lifted, and for the first time in months, I found myself smiling and laughing again. But that feeling of being up again didn't just stop there. I ended up having a personal record manic episode. Everyone noticed, except me, but no one said anything to me until it was bad enough that even I started to say, "Hey, something isn't right here," because my brain was going so fast it felt like it might explode. Now that I'm medicated properly, I'm ready to share my journey and help others who might be in that same stage I was, denying that I had bipolar disorder, and making excuses for the impulsive, agitated, and sometimes downright self-destructive states. So let's start. Why do we have such a hard time accepting a diagnosis like bipolar disorder? For me, it was the longevity of it. Knowing that this wasn't just some depressive episode that I could nature walk or medicate away. The fact that this was going to be with me for the rest of my life terrified me. Having to be on meds for the rest of my life terrified me. And I was 25 years old and had already been dealing with mood swings for the last 10 years. I was fully stuck in denial. Now, when you tell people you have depression, it elicits compassion from most people. They understand the dark nature of that beast and they want the best for you. But when you tell people you have bipolar disorder, they get this look on their face that maybe you might jump across the table and get them at any second. I can't say I blame them. There is so much misinformation and lack of education about this disorder out there. Maybe they had heard of Robert Durst or Stephen Kazmarczak, two men who committed heinous crimes and just so happened to also have bipolar disorder. But I doubt they knew about Carrie Fisher, our Princess Leia, who openly lived with bipolar disorder and made an empire for herself, or Catherine Zeta-Jones, or Halsey, or Pete Wentz. These celebrities all live with bipolar disorder, and if they were face to face with these people who give me the look, they would be gushing about how brave and strong they were for dealing with it. So what gives? The stigma, in my opinion, really began in the media and how they misrepresent people who have bipolar disorder. They frequently portray people who are violent, unstable, or crazy as having bipolar. They never show the day-to-day lives of millions of people who have success in their own ways. This breeds an incorrect image in the masses that people with bipolar are dangerous when this is most often not the case. Then there is the shame and the silence around actually having bipolar. I know, I felt it. I had even internalized the idea that I was crazy because I needed help. This led to 7 years of keeping my diagnosis a secret and pretending it wasn't there. If you have bipolar disorder, we have to break that cycle. We have to be the ones to educate our friends and our loved ones because no one else is. I implore you to open up to someone you trust as the first step. Once they understand how absolutely normal we are, even with the mood swings, they can begin to advocate for us too. We need everyone we can get on our side. Once you feel comfortable with telling those close to you, tell your boss. No, seriously, hear me out. If you have been a reliable, productive employee, tell your boss in writing about your disorder. Nothing personal, just mention that you have it and that there may be some times when you need to ask for an accommodation. They have to provide you with that, and getting it in writing will prevent them from trying to treat you differently once they are aware, because they understand it is discrimination and it is illegal. And if they do begin to discriminate against you, please take appropriate action. This helps others in the future. Sharing our stories helps put a human face to this disorder. And when you do tell people, always remember to say, "I have bipolar disorder." not I am bipolar. Remember, you are not your disorder. And even if you don't feel it in this moment, you are loved, you are special, you are enough, and you matter.